aka Geeks.
Happy 3 week, everybody. It's Lynn with AK Geeks coming at you with Sean.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How's your week going, bud?
So far, it's been a good one. It's been video game centric.
Typical for this week, obviously, of course.
Yeah, so it's always good. Yeah, I can't complain. I can't complain. I always love this week, and then also this week is the NBA Finals, Game 6 tonight.
Not important.
Yeah,
To be.
Yesterday was NHL Stanley Cup Finals. St. Louis Blues won. I think it was their first time in their history winning. And then also today you had the start of the U.S. Open for golf. I don't know what's going on with that. And then you have the World Cup for the women. U.S. beat on Taiwan on, was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday, and they won 13-0.
The women have always been better.
Yeah, but that's the record that's never even it got broken. And Alex Morgan 5 goals. So it's been a big week for everything. There's been video games, big sporting events. It's like, whoo, it's a big week. Big week.
I was saying, when it comes to the women in the World Cup, they've always played a hell of a lot harder and better than most of the time I've seen the men. Yeah. And then I get bored of real quick, but those ladies always put their 100% behind them. But yeah, it's been busy. I've been today. I'm a little peeved because my son had issues at his science camp, and I had to go get him. And over here, when I went to go get him, it was a torrential downpour, so I literally could not see 6 inches in front of my face.
Oh wow!
So that means everybody was going like 15 miles an hour on a 50 mile per hour highway. So like, oh my god. So yeah, but gaming wise, I've been trying to pay attention.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you do 15. You could at least do 30. You could do 30. I mean, they usually say, when weather's that bad, you do half the speed limit, you should be okay. But did you play anything after the last time we were on?
Yeah, I've been playing. I've been playing Fallout 76 Nuclear Winter.
Okay.
And I won yesterday night. My teammates and I don't know. They were good. You could tell that they were good, and then I carried my weight, of course. But we were lucky because we placed down. You pick where you place down on the map. They do the whole PUBG. I don't know if they do it in Fortnite. I'm assuming they do it in Fortnite as well. They do the whole warm-up room where you're in the Vault 76. You're just waiting to go out. So everybody's running around punching each other. And they also have cutouts that explain what certain things are in the game. Not Fallout 76, but in the Nuclear Winter game. So then it finally gets to the point where all right, the candidates have been chosen. Because remember, it's for Overseer 51, so they're a candidate. Then they put you in the screen with the map, so you get to choose where you're going. Now, I noticed, though, they only give you 15 seconds. So you could totally just pick some random place, and you could spawn it. One time this happened to me, I picked a random space without zooming in, and I spawned right in a bathroom. Not in the bathroom, but the bathroom stall. So I was like, what the hell's wrong with my game? And I was literally facing into the wall of the side of the toilet. So I pushed to the right, and then, there's the door. So I had to open the door because I was in the bathroom stall. And so after, what I could do, though, is if you wait down to the last 5 seconds, this is where it gets dangerous, you can either choose where you want to go and just stick with it, or you kind of wait to see if your teammates are putting their dot, because you can see your teammates put a dot down, and you could choose to go where they're at. Whenever I do that, I would always choose where they're at, and then I'd zoom in and look at, is there a building in the near area, and then go place myself to spawn in the building, where usually there's going to be some containers of some sort where I could pick up stim packs, armor maybe, and if I'm lucky, a 10mm gun. There's some good guns in the game. A lot of them were very similar in damage, and every now and then I'd find like a rocket launcher or a like a combat shotgun where it's like 140 damage to the rocket launchers, like or the RPG launcher grenade launcher is like 190, right? Um, but yeah, you go around, and then if we were lucky, the time we won, we picked a spot where nobody picked around us, and we just like we went around, and some people made their way to us, I guess, because you could see them when the last second happens. You see everybody, and so you could kind of decide like, okay, we're close to those guys. We'll go back and get behind them and flank them, you know.
Right.
And so we took out a whole team within the first 2 minutes, and then we kept going, and we just kept skirting the sides, and we got to a good point where we were right there, and we found a mountain ledge, and one of the guys had picked up enough stuff where he could build things because they let you do crafting because the camp. He found a camp, so he was able to build things. He placed down the camp, and we had this mountainside, and we just perfect like defense right in the middle of where it was at. So we just kind of like there was a scorched beast that came flying, and it got killed. We killed it right there, and that died. And then we were in there, and then a couple people when it got down to like, huh?
You got killed it?
No, we killed it, and we killed that guy, the scorched beast. And then so we were right there in our area, and it was down to about 10 people, 12 people. And then when it drops to 9, it's like final contenders. Then the thing just starts coming in more and more, the fire. And it looks great. I took a picture of it in the distance, and it looks like amazing. Like it looks really good. And then these guys came in, we just were able to get them, and we won. And so it was pretty cool. I had played like about 5 matches so far, I'd say 5 or 6 matches over the course of the last 2 days. Yeah, the last 2 days.
So you played no division at all?
Did I play the division? I might have played it like Monday or something. I can't recall. But I know I played this a couple days.
Yeah, because I finished the last mission of the division.
Oh yeah, which one's that one?
That's the one where you're getting the briefcase for the president at the Capitol building.
I think mine. I either have.
That's the last thing. That's the purpose. They purposely make that the last thing. You can't do it without doing the other 2 things first.
I'm trying to think if I have another side mission or a main mission on my screen.
Well,
I have like one thing, I think, or 2 things.
Yeah, there's the one stronghold where the group is at that you go to. Then after the stronghold, obviously Roosevelt Island was one of them, so that's one of the 3 that you have to have completed. So you have the island, you have the stronghold. Yeah, you have the stronghold, which is the one on the northeast section by that one dark zone. It's in front of it. And then you have the Capitol building, which is the last part. It took me about 25 minutes to clear out the Capitol building because it was a long one. There's a point where I thought I was over with, that I got everybody, but then I had to attach my briefcase to the helicopter. And then they were getting shot at before I was able to get on, so I had to clear all the homing dishes that we could read on the helicopter, then clear all that. So, but what sucks is that once I beat the final person that was in there, I was trying to make room so I could pick up the weaponry, and it teleported me back to the White House with a cutscene. And I'm like,
so you
I didn't want
what you earned.
No, so it started the cutscene with the Black Tusks invading all of Washington D.C. So I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. So
did they transport it anywhere for you to pick up?
I have no idea. I have to look at, because I figured, all right, they put me back at the White House, I'll just log out from here and I'll come back to it a little bit later. But your map completely changes. Because now you have all these areas where it's like black and red because the Black Tusk are invading your area now. Now that you cleared Washington, Black Tusk is right there on top of you. So, but yeah, and then,
I gotta be close to it because I only see 1 or 2 things on the last time I remember. I have done the one stronghold with you now, and I think I still got to do 1 more stronghold. I think there's 2, right?
They gave it to you, right? Yeah, because the island you finished with me, so that was one of them, and then the other one, like I said, is on the northeast side. So, and it says Stronghold. So, and then there's the Capitol building. So, but
I'll tell you right now though, what I've enjoyed Nuclear Winter.
mm-hmm.
It's like a snippet of Fallout with other people where you're forced to battle, which I think what I kind of like about it is that if you literally go in to play Fallout 76 and you want to fight people in the Fallout universe, other people, this is a good alternative for you to go there.
Yeah,
If you just want to play Fallout 76 like a normal Fallout game, but possibly run into people that are gamers like you can still
yeah.
go play Fallout 76. So I definitely see what they're doing here right here with this, and I think it could be successful.
Mm.
Not saying like successful like the bet like it's going to sell games, but it could bring maybe some people that are lapsed players back, and it could find a nice little fit for those players that want to
I,
go around killing people.
I just don't see Fallout 76 fans being a big concurrent on battle royale games.
Well, I don't know what you're trying to say there, but I
Well,
mean,
what I mean, the most of the players that play Fallout are Western RPG players. So they're looking for that story element and what have you, and that's one of the reasons why so many people complained and moaned about, with good reason, that Fallout 76 just wasn't for them anymore because it wasn't a Fallout game. It had no story, it had no NPCs, nothing to really drive them to want to play it. So, and I don't think a battle royale game attached to it is going to bring those people back by itself. I think more the NPC stuff and the missions that those NPCs are going to bring will bring more people to Fallout 76 ahead of that. You know what I mean?
I don't think it'll bring new people in.
No, I'm not
I,
talking about bringing new people in. I'm just
it might
talking
bring
about
people
bringing
back.
people back to Fallout 76 who
The
were disappointed.
Wastelanders, along with the Wastelanders uh, add-on and update, I think that'll also bring people back as well. But it's one of those things where I definitely see the benefit of it. I'm happy that they're doing it, and so me playing it the last couple days, it's it feels all right. It feels fun. It was fun. It feels like a battle royal, but uh,
3 weeks
you
time, you're going to tell me that you're playing PUBG or Fortnite and what have you.
no,
After playing with
I've
this,
never played. I've never even turned on Fortnite. I haven't played PUBG in a while,
yeah,
um, but it's fine. I think it has its place if you're one of those Fallout 76 people that want to fight other users.
not typical for but hopefully, like, I'm glad you like it. It's just
I think it's
that's not
good.
gonna.
I don't know if I'm spending much time in it after this,
Yeah,
but it looks cool. It plays
yeah,
like a Fallout game in that world, and it doesn't have to be fast twitch, because
right.
of the way the controls are. You can still beat people, even though you're not the best Call of Duty player. You know what I mean?
Which is good because it makes it a little bit more level playing field.
They're dealing with the controls just as much as I'm dealing with the controls.
Yeah,
It's not the best gunplay, and so they have to deal with it, and I have to deal with it. Yeah, but I definitely saw people trying to use the Call of Duty, PUBG, Fortnite thing where they just keep jumping around, but it doesn't work as well in this universe. With the Fallout, like they can jump around all they want. I can still shoot them because they don't jump as high and as fast and whatever as nimble as those games.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's cool. I'm gonna play it again some more until we don't play it anymore. But I like it. I'm happy they put it in there at least for now. At least they're trying something. So
Okay, now that we've done 15 minutes on Fallout, didn't even realize it went that long. Holy cow, this is going to be interesting. We got any new releases
let's see what
this
we
week?
got. All right, today's the 13th, and going from today to next week on the 19th, Tomorrow we have Blastmaster Zero coming out on PC. On the 18th, we have Bloodstained Ritual of the Night on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And that's all that GameSpot has on their original list, which I doubt has been updated to include E3. We know that one game is releasing today. I forget which console it was.
Uh,
It was 613.
I
Cadence
thought
of
it was
Hyrule is today. The Cadence of Hyrule is today.
yeah.
So, and that's all that I can
Crypt
remember
of
of.
the Crypt of the Necrodancer, Legend
Yeah.
of Zelda version. That's also
Uh,
today.
Cadence of Hyrule is released on 613. And then there'll be stuff the next week that came from E3 as well.
Yeah. But yeah, we've had a busy week trying to figure everything out. We watched the stuff. We did our own little videos for each of the conference, what we thought about the conference. Did you rewatch any of them again?
I've been watching a lot of interviews.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth between interviews with the E3 Coliseums on Mixer. So I remember last year we kept trying to go to a couple of them. So I sat and watched a few of them through Mixer, and then I switched over to IGN for a couple of them as well, a couple interviews. A lot of interesting stuff going on there, though. But one thing we didn't get to mention because it happened after the Microsoft thing was during the Major Nelson Inside Xbox E3 show. They mentioned the last, what would be next for Xbox when it comes to backward compatibility.
Okay, and these are the last ones, aren't they?
Yeah, so they basically they brought the final collection of original Xbox classics, Xbox 360 fan favorites, and then the last Xbox One X enhanced updates. And they said it's an appreciation to the fans for the support that they've shown. And which is cool because that means they're going to focus on now making sure everything that we have now on the Xbox One will be able to work perfectly on Scarlet. So they announced all of them. So the original backward compatible games that they added were Armed and Dangerous, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. I'm not sure how many people have that game. I do, but I'm looking.
Is that the old Lucas
LucasArts games, yeah.
Lucas games? Because I think I used to have that on PC.
Yeah, because this one was on original Xbox and PS2, I believe. Then Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Then we got Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Splinter Cell Double Agent. So we have all the Splinter Cells that were on the original Xbox, backward compatible. And what's good is that the Double Agent version on the original Xbox is a completely different game than the one that was on the 360.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I remember hearing.
Yeah. And then the last one was Unreal Championship 2, the Lalandra conflict. So I'm wondering if that's just the single player aspect of it, or is it going to open up the servers to play multiplayer? So I'm going to have to pop that disc in just to find out. Because I know there's also DLC that you can get, like for Armed and Dangerous, they added the new mission called Summer Home. For Star Wars Battlefront, they have the Jabba the Hutt map. So Battlefront 2, they have the expansion pack, which included 4 maps, 1 new hero, Kit Fisto, 1 new villain, Aja Ventress. Now, this is the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. Backward, the original on the Xbox and PS2. Then for Knights of the Old Republic, you're getting the equipment store on Yavin Station. For Republic Commando, they're releasing the multiplayer map Anger. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell is getting 3 mission packs. Koala Cell, Vesca Infiltration, and the Vesca Submarine. For Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, you get the 2 map packs, Federal Bank and River Mall. Chaos Theory, you get 2 mission packs, split screen co-op missions, Nuclear Plant and UN Headquarters. And then you get the 2 map packs, Polar Base and Steel Squad. Then they mentioned Xbox One X enhanced updates. Pretty much everything Rare did for 360. So you got Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, Banjo-Tooie, Cameo Elements of Power, the original Perfect Dark Zero, Viva Pinata, and Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. Now, everybody should have these games because they were part of the Rare Replay. And you don't have Rare Replay?
No.
Because they gave it many different times. Because they gave it during one of the mix pots when Mixer first started. That was one of the things they gave. They gave everybody the Rare Replay. Then I believe they also gave it later that same year as a Games with Gold.
Maybe I do have it there, but
you might want to check your library just in case. Maybe on your not installed stuff.
Yeah, my not installed stuff, because it's not in my installed stuff. I already know that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool that they're all getting updated to 4K Ultra HD. He's playing Sea of Thieves for me with his sister. So then for 360, backwards compatible, they added Asura's Wrath, Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, Enchanted Arms, Enslaved Odyssey of the West, Far Cry Classic, and Far Cry Instinct Predator, Infinite Undiscovery, which was a Square Enix role-playing game that they made exclusively for Microsoft.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're not remastering that just to throw it on PS4. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, which I think everybody rented just to get the easy 1,000 points.
I heard about that one that's easy, but I never did it.
Yeah, you still had to go through the whole game because it basically was just level based, and I think it was only 5 or 6 achievements that ranked up to 1,000. It was not as easy as Avatar, which you could do in the first 15 minutes of the game. Then you have Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. They put Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, the original Skate, Star Ocean: The Last Hope, Syndicate, 2 Human, which they're also giving for free to everybody. So you have to make sure you go into the store and quote unquote purchase it. Then you got the Unreal Tournament for the 360. So that's everything that's going to be added to. Well, it's already been added because they're live at this moment. So, as I mentioned, they said as a final thank you to the community, we're bringing 2 Human to the backward compatible catalog and are making it available digitally to everyone for free. And then, as always, these original Xbox and 360 games on Xbox One, if you have the disc you already own, you can purchase them digitally. If not, through the Microsoft Store. Market restrictions for digital content may apply, so that the DLC doesn't mean you're getting it for free just because you buy the game. So keep that in mind out of the DLC that I mentioned that they added. But they also went on to say, thank you for your continued feedback and support as we've journeyed together through the launch and releases of Xbox One backward compatibility. We look forward to our next chapter with Project Scarlet. So I thought this was a good, because I really didn't think they would do any more original Xbox games.
Yeah.
Because they were slow in even trying them, with reason, because they said it was a little bit harder to do. So, as my dog starts barking up a storm.
There's a lot of stuff though, a lot of content there for that.
Yeah. So, before we got on, I was telling you that PS4 was down. Was that able to work for you?
Yep. I let my membership lapse because that shows you the last time I was online.
Like
it's been a few weeks.
You were able to redo it.
Yeah, it let me buy it, and then I just put Sonic Mania to download. I was trying to make sure I did that for Sonic Mania before it went off, because I want to play that game. So yeah, I want to see if it's as good as people say it is. So I definitely wanted to do that. So I got that going, and And yeah, so yeah, I made sure that's up, but I didn't try anything else though. It's just downloading in the background, or it should be downloading
Yeah,
in the background.
because it seems like earlier today, Sony confirmed that the PlayStation Network was down, with many users reporting the error code WS37403-7.
Uh-huh.
Now, it's been updated since then, where the status page for PlayStation servers say they're back online, so that's probably why you had no issues. But I guess it started at 2:26 p.m. Pacific, so about 5:30, almost 5:30 my time. So, where are you going? Running? Where are you going? Come here. Hold on 1 second. Where are you going?
It was on, and so it's. Let me just see if it's downloading the ones that I got. It should be downloading at least Sonic Mania. They're also doing right now the Handsome Jack collection. So,
Yeah,
I already have, I own that one, but I figured I'd download it as well so I could play without the disc.
yeah.
But yeah, so it seems that everything's back up working. I always wonder with the PlayStation Network being down, like the same thing, like what happened this time? Like, there's got to be a reason. There's always something going on with freaking PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
You'd figure that they would shore this up with it costing $60. But if you have a chance, because right now is the days of play, they have some good deals on there. Um, Days Gone's already on sale, of course, and a year pass is $40. That's $20 off. That's about just as good as you're gonna get at any other store buying anywhere else. So. Yeah, they're already advertising for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, of course, and FIFA 20, and for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Well, so yesterday I had to go to work for a couple hours, right?
Okay.
And the one kid that works there, sweet guy, but not very smart when it comes to money.
Okay.
So I found out he pre-ordered the $300 Final Fantasy edition.
Gosh.
Yeah, and I'm like, are you nuts? And this is a kid that just got his credit card, just got a car and stuff, and is trying to get all that stuff done first. I'm like, Bills, get the $70 deluxe edition. I get that. You do that. Don't
How old
invest
is
in
he?
He's mid-20s.
Oh, mid-20s. Let's say if is he even old enough to have ever played the original?
I'm sure, man, with how many times Final Fantasy VII has been released through the years. I mean, you didn't have to play it on just PS1 to grow up playing it. You know, because Steam's had it for quite some time. And I know PS3 and PS2 had them digitally.
Well,
I'm
I
sure
just know
one.
for me at least. I
Yeah,
mean, people are different. I don't do a lot of going back to play old games and stuff like that. Not a lot of the time.
yeah.
I know some
I
other people.
I do with some, not everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I told him, I said, you need to cancel that pre-order because you're paying $300 basically for a doll and the accessory for that doll.
It's the one where he's on the bike. That's the one you were talking about that you liked, right? But you're not
Yeah,
getting.
right. I love to have the bike with Cloud, but I would never play $300 just for a 12-inch doll and the bike. It's but dude, it's $200 for the Hot Toys Crow figure that they released about 8 years back. Never bothered to try to get it because I can't see myself spending that much on a doll. You know, it's like just it's a 12-inch doll that looks amazing, but I just can't see myself saying, "Oh yeah, it's worth $200."
What does it look like? I don't know what it is. Hot Pros doll
Uh, well, Hot Toys is a company.
toys.
They make 12-inch action figures,
Okay.
and they did one of the Crow, Brandon Lee the Crow.
Oh, okay. The Crow. I didn't hear you say
And
the Crow. Maybe I thought you said something else.
well, yeah, no, I said Hot Toys the Crow action figure, but it's a beautiful, beautiful 12-inch figure, but I cannot fathom myself paying that much for it. It's like if it was like uh, something that had some type of movement or purpose outside of just being posed.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like unless something comes out amazing, that's very detail oriented. I don't think I'm gonna be buying any more stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm already trying. I've already told you this. I'm already trying to get rid of some of the stuff that was more impulse, and maybe I'm just and not like in love with it anymore. So like I need,
yeah,
I
I,
and
I
I've
feel you on that.
and I've been trying to get like this for the last couple of years, and I've been more and more easing back, just telling myself, if you don't love it, don't
Yeah.
go for that special edition. Just get the regular thing. Heck, I've even been staying away from like for most of the extra stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm going back to what I was doing before, when it was just Gears and Halo that I would focus on, and and maybe like Elder Scrolls. Those were the three that I would buy collector's editions for.
Mm.
Outside of that, if a game jumped out at me that I was like that I liked, and then the following sequel would get a collector's edition, I'd be like, I'll think about it. Like Borderlands, I would love to get the Diamond Chest one, but I
Yeah,
never got any previous Diamond Chests before,
I
and
got the one two. I got the chest, the loot chest for two,
yeah.
and I'm keeping that, and I'm gonna be using it as more as a container to hold other
But
stuff.
see, you got it. I looked at it after it came out, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't get it because it looks like a very cheap, plasticky loot chest that I don't even think putting anything that I wanted to store in it would be
It's
beneficial to me.
it's like a resin plastic combo loot chest that if you're not lucky, your hinges won't line up because of whatever reason.
Bad molding.
Yeah, or something like that, and heat or
Yeah.
whatever. And so luckily mine line up, but they're not like 100%
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still happy I got it, but that was a while back, and that was when I would literally take like months and months and months to pay off a game because I would be doing it little by little every
Yeah,
month.
that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple weeks until Gears came out because I did pre-order the drone. That's a GameStop exclusive,
Okay.
and I was actually able to bring some of my because I had bought a lot of games, and I separated the games that I don't have and the ones that I did have with the lot. I ended up just taking in for trade because I'm not gonna flip them. I'd rather use that for trade. I paid $1.69 for my deposit on Gears because of the trade,
Mm.
so not too bad. You know what I mean? So, and unfortunately, the Cyberpunk is still a web only exclusive. You can only pre-order it online through the web.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Through where? Through what? Through who?
GameStop.
Oh, you can't do that at the store?
No, you can't go in and do a store one.
Okay.
So,
It's weird.
and
Weird.
Amazon
Weird.
lists it, but it's unavailable.
Yeah, there's some stuff about Amazon that's already available, but I mean listed but unavailable.
Yeah, they do that. I think they do that purposely with those bigger ones like that because they did that with Gears last year. I mean, year bef- when Gears 4 came out, when we purchased our bike, the bike one,
Mhm.
shortly after I pre-ordered it, out of nowhere it became unavailable. But
Uh,
so Yeah, they tend to do that with the big ones. So unfortunately, that means I have to make sure I save up. I keep tabs on it, so I can save up and make sure that when that gets pulled, hit. So I have to start saving. We have dates for the next E3 2020 already.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I didn't go into it, but I didn't go into it. So what are they?
amid everybody claiming that this is going to be the last year for E3, E3 2020 is going to fall on June 9th through the 11th. And, with the absence of voting, people on the floor, it seems like that West Hall was seeming all Nintendo. It was like Nintendo's hall, which that would have been fun to walk through. Because they had a lot of space when they were there, when we were there last year, so I can only imagine once they had everything else. So, but I don't know. I think I might save up a little bit of funds and try to see if I can do next year, just for the actual release, and see if I can get into the Xbox press fan fest.
Word is that I'm getting like I'm seeing this through Twitter from multiple people. Is that
Yeah,
the show floors they're not as packed as they were last year and almost seem a little empty. So like man, like there's not enough. I think last year, how packed it was, it was an indication to people like me like I don't want to do that again.
yeah,
And so it was. I think there's people like me that decided outright, like unless I somehow get in on the end, I'm not doing that again. But if it was going to be like, from what I hear, is it
like this year.
like is it a slow year where people they were still hitting me up to buy tickets for
You
E3
too?
like a week and a
For
half
the
ago.
week
So
before?
yeah.
Yeah,
So if
I
they
got
still have
the emails
tickets
too.
available, that means they didn't sell 10,000, which that's good.
Yeah,
You know? So
I mean, less people would have helped because last year the ones we really wanted to go to, we couldn't even touch.
yeah.
Like I wanted to do Division 2, and we didn't get, or Assassins, we didn't get to do either one last year. And then there was stuff on Sony's side like Spider-Man at the time that we couldn't touch.
Yeah, and
It's a
they
lot
shut it
of,
off super early.
yeah. So might be something to think about. I don't know. I'll have to see.
Yes,
But
definitely think about.
yeah. So I know during Inside Xbox, Microsoft announced that during Sea of Thieves, that's why I had Sea of Thieves going on in the background, that you can get a Halo-inspired Spartan ship set that's available for everybody who plays Thieves from that Tuesday when they aired the show to Saturday 23:59, so 11:59 BST. So all you had to do was play in the arena mode, and that's it. You'd be good to go. One or two games in the arena, and you should get the set. The set includes a Spartan hull that depicts the Master Chief, so basically
Yeah,
he'll be on the front of your boat, as well as Spartan sails that have the UNSC logo, and the ship overall has a uh, army green tint, a la the Master Chief's armor. So it's sharp. It's sharp. But
well,
did we?
it's not you playing right now, so that's good. You
Well,
know.
what's funny is that Lenore loves playing Sea of Thieves, and she's always saying, "Daddy, Daddy, play with me." So earlier in the week, when they announced it, I was playing the regular story mode, thinking that's all I needed to do, and I didn't pay attention that you had to do arena. So her and I got on before we started the podcast, and I was talking back and forth with her, and I had to switch to get you. And that I was trying to have Ronan get in here in time, so he could finish the game for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll do that for a Spartan ship. Cause I'm probably the only one who would have it running. I didn't get what?
I was gonna try to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking about it. I saw it yesterday, the report about it, and
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to look into that when I have time. and see if I can get it. I know it's through the 17th or 15th or something like that.
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay, so it's through the 15th. So I could, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
tonight.
because I mean, what's weird is that the arena obviously is a 4-player mode, and because it puts you on a galleon, and the whole concept is you have to get the most treasure off of the maps, and that ship wins, while at the same time staying alive from other ships blasting you into the water.
Uh,
Because before I stopped playing, we had sunk a ship that was trying to come at us as we were
oh,
getting the
nice.
treasure. Yeah, so I don't know if they were able to steal the treasure because that's when I put Ronan on and had turned around towards you.
Did you guys have a random playing with you?
2 randoms because a ship of 4,
Oh,
you
okay.
have no choice. Yeah. I mean, Ledore's fun because she tries her hardest to learn to get the games, and she actually plays that game so much more than me. She has some, she has some of the controls already down pat. But is there anything you wanted to bring up?
Okay, where was it at? Marvel's
Oh,
Avengers. Huh?
oh no. Go ahead.
So, Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't. I'm gonna be real. It didn't. I don't think that the cutscene stuff. It's probably in-engine stuff. I don't think it looked that great. Like if
Oh,
you, I,
I didn't think it looked great at all. I
I think
thought the only thing that looked great were the costume, the Thor's suit and Iron Man's armor. Outside of that, eh.
yeah, I bet I'm assuming that they are going to do more updates before they release it, right? So I'm interested, but at the same time I'm very hesitant. I am not buying in just yet, or we'll see. But I don't like how it looks one bit.
I'm
Uh,
so dejected.
I here's the thing is though, like there's a lot of people getting mad because they don't look like the MCU people, and on
Yeah,
top of they're like they expected it, which I don't. That blows my mind. Just what I wonder what is the literal percentage of how many gamers have this sense of entitlement, like, and they're complaining so much. Like I would love to play this game, but I definitely what my main point is right here
yeah.
before I go on to the Avengers news is that they definitely have some work to do. I definitely want to play it, but they definitely have a lot of work to do to get me to buy in. But I'm not that entitled where I feel that I have to try to persuade Crystal Dynamics to change the art direction. And they've come out and stated that they are not changing the art direction, which is fine, but just clean it up. Clean it up.
I read across something. I wish I would have grabbed it then if I knew you,
So
because something that they said they were going to clean up the
no,
character arts
they're not going to change it.
because
Defense.
they said they were going to what they're trying to do and why they chose the art style that they did. Now, whether they clean it up, that's enough for me. I don't want them to look like the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters. I would prefer they go back to something that's an amalgamation, which is what they were trying to do. And they said in the interview on the
Yeah,
E3 Coliseum, they
they're
said they
using.
were trying to get an amalgamation from the comics and the film,
Yeah.
not exactly looking like the films. They wanted something that was honestly its own little beast. So I could understand that, and I would never expect them to say, "Well, no, you have to make it look like Robert Downey Jr." First, my first impression of Iron Man is not Robert Downey Jr. You know, I'm a comic guy. I come from the comics. I've seen different artists' take on Tony Stark, so I'm okay with them taking a different take on Tony Stark. You know, with the long hair or anything like that, and with everybody else. Just because there seems to be a group that wants it to look exactly like the movie, people, I wouldn't even listen to them.
That's no. That's why I'm saying is that
Yeah,
there's this percentage of, and I don't know what the percentage is. I would love to find out. I would love for people to answer honestly and do a poll and
yeah.
say what they expect from games and like
Ooh,
what level. and then so we can define how many people we need to kick out of game. No, I'm just playing. How many people we need to tell them to go home because they're drunk, versus how many people are like rational gamers, not irrational, rational gamers. Because like this is getting ridiculous that people feel like they're owed the MCU likeness of in the game. So going on, like I'm trying to find the article, but it said they were not changing the art style. But I want them to clean it up at least because
Oh, first of all, the only character that I think needs a lot of work is that Black Widow.
that hair looks disgusting on her. It looks disgusting.
It's not just the hair.
Yeah, it's
The whole
everything. Her
character.
face, the shape of the face is weird.
Yeah, so I want them to do their original artistic idea on her, but let's not make it that be the end result. That's
so
all.
so during the stage presentation of it, they're definitely trying to seem like the heroes of everything and everybody. Square Enix was, but then they said there are going to be no loot boxes, and no pay to win mechanics, right?
Yeah.
But there is no, as far as we know, they've never stated there's P versus P, so I don't understand the pay to win part. But no loot boxes, the pay to win mechanics. They left out the fact that they didn't say the microtransactions part, right? So they didn't say that during the conference on stage. But then they did say on stage though that if you're going to get special benefits if you get this on PlayStation. So already they're trying to come out like the hero of everything, and they're the honorable ones, but already they are kind of doing things that are shady. It came out today in an interview with IGN, and it was Crystal Dynamics' Sean Eskeg. He was interviewed by Josh Yule, and he said that he asked about microtransactions because they didn't say anything, and he said there will be custom outfits that you could purchase in microtransactions. So different outfits, different skins, essentially, but they are not going to affect game mechanics. So they went on. Vincent Napoli told IGN that there is nothing that affects gameplay that you can buy. So,
but they went from okay, that makes sense. So they never said they were not going to have microtransactions. They just said no
they
loot
never
boxes.
said it. They never said it. So IGN took it upon themselves like to make sure they ask, like, hey, so you didn't say this, so you didn't say no, so I'm assuming there's going to be some. Is there going to be some kind of thing? And they go, yeah, there's going to be microtransactions, which sucks. Like, I mean, I would love if it was more like Spider-Man. You clear
Unlock stuff as you go on.
you clear certain trials or whatever, and you unlock stuff. That'd be great. That'd be really cool. But obviously, that's not happening. So, I mean, I didn't have anything else regarding Marvel's Avengers.
There's something that to go with that. They mentioned something about why they spoiled Captain America's death because in there they mentioned
that. But keep going.
So, in the trailer, it's revealed that the Avengers lose Captain America in the explosion of the helicarrier.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big reveal for the trailer because that's like a huge plot early on in your story. So they mentioned why they did this, why they would reveal this traumatic event so quickly, and they said, well, Cap went down with the ship. The Avengers leader is Cap, the guy who's always logical, who's always able to bring the dysfunctional family together. Without him, how do they cope? So this is part of the setup, part of the conflict. It's to me the most exciting part of the story. This scares me. The fact that he says this is the most exciting part of the story.
What else do they got?
and he goes, "What do the Avengers do without their beloved captain?" And this is Eskega who's the one who's saying this, Sean Eskega. So he goes, "You'll understand more once you play the game. The Marvel Universe is huge. Will it resolve in this game? Who knows? It's something else. Who knows? The things we draw from, it's so big we can pull from the multiverse at any point." And they go, and given that we know Cap is a main playable character in the game, it's easy to be skeptical of his death lasting for long. So it seems obvious that it's only a matter of time before Captain America comes back from the grave. But when I pose the dilemma, you know, I turn coy. So they don't even know how, because me, myself, I would personally want to play the game as Cap, first and foremost. Go through the whole story with Cap. Knowing that he's going to die, I can understand if they have him die, suddenly out of nowhere, somebody else picks up the shield, like another character, to fill in that role later on when Iron Man and Hulk and all of them regroup the Avengers. That maybe they choose somebody to take up the mantle that they think Steve would appreciate. So I don't know. Well, it's like, but they don't even have a cue as to which direction they can go, because they, like they said, they're pulling from different multiverse, so they can do everything under the sun.
When they showed it at first, I didn't believe that he was dead until they did the 5 year later thing and said we failed him, and they was also showing the statue, like the memorial statue. The reason why I initially thought he wasn't dead was because it's Cap, and that seems like something to be early game, right? Like maybe a mission or two, a couple missions before that, but essentially we get to that point in the early game where they're gonna have this day. But then when they did that, I was like, okay, well no, maybe he is dead, because one of those things, like, why would he not do anything for 5 years? Why would he not show up to bring them together to say, hey, I'm alive. You guys don't have to worry about like going into depression or anything,
Yeah.
And that could be interesting if he does do that, because that could be a morally ambiguous decision for Cap to, if he didn't die, to go into hiding for 5 years because he's ashamed.
Or
Or
who knows? Considering that the image they showed us is the helicarrier exploding, who knows? He could have fallen into the water,
and that's what I'm saying. And so
unconscious, and
maybe he's been hiding for 5 years, or maybe he's got amnesia.
Or comatose.
Yeah. But let's say if he's been hiding for 5 years, that's like a morally questionable thing for him to do. Possibly, they could definitely go certain routes with that. But it makes me believe that he is dead, at least because of him not showing up for 5 years. But you never know; they could do whatever they want with that.
Yeah.
So it's whatever they choose. I did have other stuff from the interview I forgot about that I almost forgot.
Right.
So this game is not, like I said when I asked, I go, is this essentially just Marvel Ultimate Alliance then? So it's not essentially Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So the whole single player game is the whole campaign is a single player game. But there are side missions that are single player side missions and multiplayer side missions. And those multiplayer side missions have to be played online, obviously. But the single player parts of the game, the campaign without those can be played offline, is what they stated. That's good to know. So at least we can get a little taste of if this multiplayer is adequate, if it's good, and then maybe in the future with free downloads they'll give us more. You never know.
Yeah.
But that was all.
Hopefully that exclusive stuff that he got for a certain system doesn't end up being like a year thing, like freaking Destiny.
But I will say this: Square Enix, like I stated at the beginning, they're hypocrites. Within the same breath, they say no loot boxes, but then they say exclusive stuff just for buying it here. Yep. And if that affects the story, I'm going to be very pissed off, and I'm not buying the game. I will stand by my.
Yeah, because even if it's a story related thing.
Yeah, if it's story related, I'm not going to buy the game. After all, if I find this out before the game comes out, I'm not going to be on the ship at all, and I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
I've bought Destiny when this happened, but I'm at the point now where they were super like I said, trying to be this hero on stage, and then they freaking flipped the script and went super hypocritical right then afterwards, and people still were like, some people, if you watched Easy Allies, I watched their reaction to it. I've been trying to see other people's reactions to it, right? So I watched their reactions to it, and I would say at least half of them kind of like were like, oh, like really? So that made me happy, like content that there's other people that are like, all right, no loot boxes, all right, we're doing good. And then, oh, really? Exclusive shit just because they paid you money, kind of thing. So I'm not like entirely bent on the gaming community at all, like totally yet. But I won't buy this game if it's like story related stuff. If it's a costume, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will.
But if it's a
So
story related, yeah. Whew.
yeah, I'm with you there, man. Because I was pissed the first moment I heard that about the whole. Well, if you buy it on PlayStation, we got some extra goodies for you. I'm like,
Yeah.
tired of that, man. I'm tired of that. So I got some news on The Witcher 3.
For
Um,
Switch.
yeah, for Switch.
Yeah, you got the
Not good.
specs.
Not good. Not good. So the developer revealed in a tweet that the game's going to run at 540p while in handheld. Your mouth. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's terrible.
So with this being bumped up to 720p with dynamic resolution when docked.
Oh
So
my.
540p handheld, 720p docked.
I wonder if having an expensive TV that's 4K and everything will make it look better.
I would hope that the TV upscales that 720 because hopefully with that dynamic resolution that'll help the upscale. I'm hoping.
They're
Uh,
essentially they're turning a beautiful game even before the Xbox One X,
yep.
beautiful game or PlayStation Pro, a beautiful
When it
game on
first
Xbox One
released,
and PlayStation 4.
yes.
They're turning it into an ugly piece of shit, ugly pile of garbage.
Because no one better say, well, Xbox ran at 900p. Yeah, that's still higher than what they're getting out of the Switch in docked mode. I was hoping they could at least get that much. I'd be okay if they only got to 900p on the Switch. Because then it'd look exactly the same as the Xbox One. But
Oh,
the 720, man.
five, no, the handheld part, five, whatever. But here's
Five,
the thing. Here's the thing with it going at 720,
yeah.
it's gonna look even worse on my big TV. It's gonna look even worse because the it's yeah. I would have to play it on like a 32-inch TV for it to look decent.
No, you'd have to get it on something that's not a 4K
Yeah,
monitor. Like
and it would
you'd
have
have to plug it to a computer monitor or if you have an old flat screen hanging around
yeah.
that's
A
1080.
32-inch would probably be the best for this because the more square foot you got for your TV with the lower number of pixels, it just stretches things out, and you're
I
gonna
was gonna
have
say maybe even 27-inch would be the highest I'd go.
yeah, it's gonna look terrible even on the TV when it gets up to 720,
Yeah.
especially with the difference from LED to what LED 4K or LCD 4K or whatever we have these days, whichever people have, because they're both
Yeah.
people. Um,
I feel sorry for anybody who has an OLED.
it's a waste of yeah. So I was happy that Witcher 3 was coming to the Switch, but with that news, which like remember I was saying like, what are they gonna do? Have the draw distance be 10 feet in front of your character? Like
Yeah.
what? This is essentially what they're doing is they're going to lower the resolution to try to keep the draw distances so you can see the little water dudes far away. You can
But
see the
I'm wondering,
griffins far
with
away.
540p, how jaggy is it gonna look at
It's
540p alone?
probably as jaggy as new Lucky's tail.
New Lucky's tail's not jagged at all, man.
I saw a screenshot, unless it's something different, but it looked like it was a Switch. I want to say it was a
Yeah,
Switch.
because I saw the video. I saw the video playing it, and I played it on. And obviously, I watched it on my monitor, not on the TV behind me, and it still looked smooth. Everything was rounded, everything was colorful, looked
Yeah.
like the original one did. So, uh, uh, it's
Ooh, that
scary.
went. It went from a win to a loss. But remember this also. I said this too. I said Wolfenstein Youngblood on the Switch looks terrible. I said that thing, the guard dog thing, the big thing, looks like it was something input from something
Brennan, where's my
from
drink?
like a past generation, and it was
Yeah.
like blocked off feet, and that's the hit square. You know what I mean? Like they could not specifically make the hit fit the foot or whatever.
I
So
mean, I was really contemplating buying The Witcher again for the Switch because you can't go wrong, man. The complete edition, which is 2 big story expansions, and then all the 16 free DLC that came with it. You never go wrong with owning The Witcher more than once.
I still haven't even finished it. Like,
Neither
I went back into it. I think it was at the beginning of last year or the end of 2017. I jumped back into it. I think it was the beginning of last year. I jumped into it for like a few days, a couple days. I did a couple things, but yeah, I still have a lot to go because the Blood and Wine, that one was a 40-hour expansion. I think they said.
So if you go straight through, yeah.
Or yeah, something like that. Yeah. I remember when I left off on Witcher 3, you know what I was doing? Is I was
What?
swimming through I was going through each area and swimming to get all the chests in the
In the water?
Yeah.
I think I still had a few of them because the last thing I was doing is I had a glitch with a werewolf that you had to kill the werewolf,
I remember that one, the werewolf
and
guy. That.
for some reason he kept glitching out and he would stay still, and no matter how many times I hit him, he wouldn't die.
And I
So I had
remember
to
remember that was a big thing too. Remember they had to patch it for that. Remember?
Yeah, so I had to wait till that patch came, and then I remember going in there, killing that, and then moving a little bit further along that before I stopped.
Yeah, I finished the main story. I'm pretty sure. I just didn't finish all of the DLC. But I'm going through all the areas and swimming to get the treasure chest. Anyway, like great game to have because so much content.
Yep.
But this is sad news about the game's quality on
I I'm gonna love everybody seeing your reaction when I first mentioned that because it's forever priceless.
That's terrible.
So, we didn't even talk about this when we got together to do the Microsoft presser, and it completely slipped on our mind. But did you know there was a game missing that was actually shown last year? As I won't burn your brain trying to figure it out because obviously it was over a year ago. But Gears Tactics was a no-show.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that on the day of.
yeah, but we didn't bring it up.
No, we didn't bring it up, but I was thinking of it.
So according to Microsoft, and that said that Gears Pop and Gears 5, which were first unveiled with Tactics, they were all shown off again at this year's press conference this time, but Tactics wasn't. So longtime producer Rod Ferguson told Kotaku that last year we wanted to really talk about all 3 games, Gears 5, Pop, and Tactics, and show that Microsoft is tripling down on the Gears of War franchise. But now that we've had that, we're really trying to make sure it's not always this 3-pack. So he goes on to say, we'll talk about Gears Tactics later. There's no release date has been revealed for Gears Tactics, while we know that Gears 5 launches September 10th. And Gears Pop, meanwhile, will come to iOS and Android in late summer of this year. So, it's already a Gears heavy influence later part of the year, so I can understand saving something for another time. And Gears Tactics, last time I read, they're not specifically trying to make it PC only, but also see if they can convert it to have it go to consoles as well.
Yeah, I know that they're designing it for PC first and foremost.
Right. But
that's
with the keyboard, but after the keyboard and mouse, after the keyboard and mouse support was announced that it was already good to go, that it was released, that's when they went in and said, well, maybe we could change things up now.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like, I want to say even the Halo Spartan, what's it called? The 1 and 2 Spartan.
Halo Wars? Halo Wars?
Yeah, Halo Wars was initially, not Spartan, it was the other one, but Halo Wars was initially made for PC.
No.
And then they...
No, it wasn't. Halo Wars was first made for the 360 first. The original Halo Wars was on 360. They made it specifically for the 360 to bring that tactical RPG style to the console with their own franchise. Then Halo Wars 2, which came out on the Xbox One, was a play anywhere title, so you can play it on PC and Xbox One.
I thought it initially came out for PC.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, these tactic games are more PC. It's
right,
easy to do
because it's micromanaging and it's easier to move around with a mouse than it is with a controller.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we know that they went on to talk about more about Gears 5 and saying that there's going to be in July there's going to be a versus multiplayer test that the coalition is launching. That's going to include a new competitive game type called Arcade. Then on August 19th, you can test out the Horde mode. So
nice.
I got to go back into Gears 4 and try to get as much achievements as possible because I want to get some of the stuff that they're giving away. Just if you get 50 achievements, you get a bunch of character skins that'll transfer over to Gears 5, like they do with the weapon skins usually. So I need to get back in there and just raid on some Gears, even if it's just Horde mode. So
yeah, I was thinking about it. The trailer that they showed with Kate, that one that sucked because of the music. Yeah. There was a face that popped out of her.
Mira's?
Huh?
Mira's face?
No. There was a guy face that I could not place. And I did, and so I was thinking, was he in 4? Was he one of the newer characters? And that's maybe it was JD.
But JD, was he bald? Because it could have been JD. Because JD in 5 is bald.
Yeah, it was on the left. When you're looking at her, it was on her right, our left.
Her right, our left?
Yeah, our left, her right. And I was like, who's that? Is that maybe JD? But I could not tell because of the angle. But they didn't show it a lot.
Because when they showed JD, for reference, when they showed JD, Marcus is on the opposite side. Like they're everybody's on opposing sides of one another. When Marcus was helping her, wanting her to figure out things, JD was against it, and he almost had like a growl type look, like he was angry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was thinking it was JD, and then there was another character that I don't remember that they showed. So I'm contemplating because of that trailer, and maybe this is what they want. I still think it sucked. Pick better music.
Yes.
I don't care if the girl's 19 and somebody said she's a phenomenon or a phenom or whatever. She sucks.
I think the song sucks.
Yeah, her song sucks. I've heard descriptions of her shows, and no, she's not. For somehow, I'm sorry, we're going off a little tangent. For somehow to have all of this money and people pushing her up to the top of like these concerts where there's 20 people playing, she has no experience and no reason why she should be up there at the top. So and then I don't think her music's that good anyway. But beside the point, maybe they were aiming for that to get me intrigued, but I'm contemplating going back to play 4 at some point.
I need the Dom campaign, so I'll be more than happy to play co-op with you. You need to get through the story.
Yeah, it's on my. But here's the thing, though. Did we get a release date of this year for Gears 5?
Yeah, September.
Shit, I don't have enough time to go through Gears 4.
Yeah, you do. It's not that long a campaign.
I play like 5 hours of video games a week now. Maybe 7.
That could get through a chapter and a half, maybe 2 chapters.
But yeah, I'm contemplating it, just so I could refresh my memory.
Yeah.
Because I remember the story, and I remember the main thing that came from the story about Kate. But yeah. So anyway.
Did you have something?
I got one. The Wall Street Journal did a new report about Nintendo Switch, and this report is talking about how Nintendo has made the decision to remove their production from China because of the whole proposed tax rate of 25%. That would essentially make your Nintendo Switch cost $375 instead of $300. So they're moving it to where was it? Southeast Asia instead of China. Um, Also, in the report, it said that they are starting production of two new consoles, which we've been talking about this possibly, and again, it's the one that's going to be a little beefier, and then the one that's going to be a little lower. I would hope the one that's quote unquote lower would be same specs with certain things taken out to make it cheaper. You know what I mean?
I think the only thing I can imagine them doing is making sure that it's just um, portable. Like making
Yeah,
sure
like
the controllers don't pop out.
yeah, like it's purely portable. It's one piece. You could dock it still, but when you take it on the go, it's like a freaking Vita. You know, that's the only thing I think of. That you could take out the HD Rumble. I mean, you won't be able to play certain games without the HD Rumble, but there's that. But what I'm thinking of, but they keep saying Switch that has lower specs, and that scares me because the Switch already has low specs. Like it already
Can you
has low.
imagine playing? Can you imagine playing The Witcher on that one?
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. The thing would probably explode and burst into flames while you're
Yeah.
holding it. The Wall Street Journal report says that they are now entering production of the new better component one, the better one as well. So this
Not
is
even
really
announcing it.
interesting, huh?
Without even announcing what it's going to be.
Yeah, but this I mean this makes sense now that because we're still I mean E3 is still going on this week, but then technically Nintendo
It's the
wouldn't
last
have
day.
E3. You know what I mean? So maybe they're waiting for next week. They're waiting for Saturday. I'm just joking about that part, of course. But this is uh, this is a report by Wall Street Journal. But Wall Street Journal also did a similar report to this a month ago, maybe more, about them being that there was talk of those as well. So they've definitely been on this hype train of two new Switch consoles.
Right. Yeah, because it's been a while that they were.
Yeah, that's all I got about that one.
All right. So this one's a little fun one. But during E3, Arcade One Up, which we know are the ones that do those replica arcade machines, they announced new cabinets. One's going to be the Arcade One Up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ooh, which one?
The it's going to have the Turtles and the Turtles in Time. It's the
Oh,
arcade machine.
awesome.
So,
Both of them is cool.
and then the other one's Marvel Superhero Arcade Cabinet, which is going to have Marvel Superheroes, the X-Men Children of the Atoms, and the Punisher.
Nice.
That one right there is like, oh, be still my heart, man. How can you do this to me? So, um, each matches the original machine decals and uses arcade components. They stand just at under 4 feet. And like I said, Teenage Mutant Turtle machine's going to have both the original Ninja Turtles arcade game and Turtles in Time. Both came out in '89 and '91. And the three Marvel superhero games that I mentioned were, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men Children of the Atom, and the Punisher. I mean, I don't know why the X-Men one doesn't take precedence, because that was the machine that should be like the Turtles, because the Turtles one actually shows all four controllers, so you can have four people standing at your little 4-foot machine playing each turtle, where the Marvel Superheroes one, the X-Men cabinet, it's just two control sticks, so you can only do two players.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
But I don't
but
remember all four in the. But that was a long time ago.
what, the Turtles?
Yeah, that was when I was a little kid.
The
Yeah.
Turtles one? Yeah, the Turtles one was always all four, and X-Men was a 4-player cabinet as well. So, but the Teenage Mutant Turtles go to retail for about $349, while the Marvel Superheroes one's going to come in at $299, and they'll be available later this year. And they're supposedly easy enough that somebody mentioned that their 11-year-old son was able to build their own unit. So I'd love to get one, but I just have to figure out where in this office I can put it. I got one last thing, so I don't know if you have something else.
Nope.
No. So the last thing I got from GameSpot, and they had a conversation. Well, Giant Bomb had an extended conversation, I should say, with Phil Spencer, and
Oh,
he released a lot of news on it. So they talked to him for about 49 minutes, and he talked about the competition with Sony and Nintendo, saying that he wants Xbox to be number one. He thinks everyone can win at the same time and work together to lift the gaming's overall profile.
yeah.
He says he doesn't see the business as a fight, but instead an opportunity to create the things that people love. He also noted that E3 suffered without Sony being at the show, and he would like to see it and Call of Duty publisher Activision return in the future. He said he wants to get rid of the friction that exists between competitors. And the recent example that he uses, of course, was Banjo coming into Smash Brothers Ultimate and Sony and Microsoft working together on cloud streaming technology. He also called out the Master Chief Collection as an example of Microsoft doing something new and bringing the game to PC on Steam. So, in reference to Project Scarlet versus the PS4, Spencer said he wants Xbox to be number one. He's as competitive as anybody, but that doesn't mean he wants Sony to suffer. This guy's a fucking straight up stand up guy. I don't care what anybody tries to get him, any type of corner they try to peg him into. He knows exactly what he wants, and he just says it.
But he's also respectful about it.
But that's
too.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Within that, he's so humble that he doesn't need to cut somebody down to put his brand on.
You know who's done that in the past?
Right. So he goes on to say that Spencer said raw power is important when it pertains to those Project Scarlet. He doesn't know how Project Scarlet specs compare to the PS5. It's expected that they're going to be similar. So at the end of the day, competition may come down to price and brand loyalty. So whatever the case, Spencer said Microsoft is aiming for first place, and that being a leader in the console category is something that Xbox team is committed to achieving. He also spoke about Microsoft not planning for Scarlet to be the company's final console. He said Microsoft doesn't know yet what form the next system will take, but as a company, it's committed to making more hardware after Scarlet. He's also not committing to a schedule, saying there's no regular cadence for when new hardware launches will be out. So the challenge for Microsoft is to think what the next evolution of gaming will be, and then design a console for that. So he wants to look at where the gaming platform is at that moment in time and then work on that. He also said that they haven't settled on a name for Project Scarlet yet. He says, I don't know what the name is. We don't have a list of names. We do know that he said Project Scarlet is rumored to be the overarching name of Microsoft's next generation console strategy. So that includes both a high-end system, which is codenamed Anaconda, and a lower spec model, codenamed Lockhart. But Microsoft has only talked about the higher end model so far. So in regards to pricing, Spencer said Microsoft has a window that it's looking at, but nothing's locked down yet. Mm-hmm. One issue that could complicate matters is President Trump's 25% tariff for electronics made in China. And so Spencer said Nintendo just recently moved production of the Nintendo Switch, which you made reference to avoid those potential tariffs. And then he also talked about backward compatibility and the Project Scarlet generation. He said he wants to respect the purchases of the people made on the older platforms, and as such, Project Scarlet's going to support thousands of games from across 4 generations of Xbox systems. Now, I know for a fact that the original Xbox has about 565 games. Original Xbox. The 360 has about a little over 600. And then I don't know where the Xbox One is right now, but I'm pretty sure I have about 600 games on my hard drives. So there's a bunch there. So I can see them doing thousands. And then he finishes off talking about the relevance of E3, saying that the show remains relevant and important to the gaming world. It's time for this time of the year when the world is watching. It's important, very important today when the industry is coming under criticism and judgment. One recent threat, Spencer said, was World Health Organization's designation of a gaming disorder as a recognized disease. And he also said E3 is an important time of year to show the world that gaming is not just kids in a basement.
Yeah.
And without juggernauts like Sony and Activision at E3, could take hits in terms of prominence. So he did mention something about Xbox streaming taking off.
Yeah, there was something about one he did. I don't know if it's the same exact one. Is that he said something? I'm trying to remember it this whole time, and it was very interesting. But anyway, go ahead. If I remember it, I'll definitely tell you.
Well, in the streaming thing, he mentions that people could actually turn around and rent their boxes to stream to other users.
Okay.
Yeah, here's how he talks about it. And this is specifically about xCloud. So Spencer said it's probably still a number of years away from streaming becoming the most popular, prevalent way for people to play games. But he said playing games on local hardware in your home would be the best way to experience big new games such as Cyberpunk. However, for those who want to play games on the go on their phone or another device and are okay with comparably lower resolutions and frame rates, they'll be able to do it with xCloud. And he mentions that he sees a number of interesting possibilities emerging from streaming when it takes off. One involves users being able to rent their systems to act as a streaming box for other people. So it remains to be seen how this would work, but Spencer talked about a potential future scenario where people could theoretically let strangers rent their local box to stream from when the main user is away. So if you're away from home and you know you're not going to be on your Xbox, you can actually rent it out to someone to stream from.
Or vice versa. Well, to continue with that thought on that same, you're away and you want to play something on your phone with your attachment to your controller, and you can rent somebody else's, which is
Right,
closer to you. So
right.
no matter what, if you go from Florida to Texas for some reason, and you're there in the I don't know, up near Austin or something, right? And somebody in Austin is freaking renting out their system. Boom, there you go. So
Yep.
latency would reduce because you're near their system.
Yeah. Because he talks about where he's excited to see about the possibility of streaming to create additional value for the consumer beyond the traditional means. And this is one of the potential examples that he sees, which is pretty freaking neat if they could pull that off. But that means him just talking about it in detail like this means they're already thinking about it. This is something
Now, no, go ahead.
that they're looking into.
With renting it, do I have to pay for that, or are they renting it to Xbox to use to give to somebody that wants to stream? Because he did say streaming is going to be free. He
Yeah.
said streaming, console streaming is free. The service is free. If you have Xbox Live, whatever you have, you can stream. And so what I'm assuming is, so if let's say I'm renting out my Xbox, does that mean like for every day that I rent out my Xbox, they give me like, I don't know, a couple bucks in Microsoft points?
Who knows?
That would be interesting because if I know there's going to be a day that I'm not going to be home, might as well,
Yeah.
right? They'll
I
just
mean,
use the system.
I could see that being a big deal, though. That's the last story I got because I figured that was big enough that I could end with. That him saying that the Scarlet's not the last system,
Yeah, that's good.
or I should say, series of systems. Oh, and if you have the Epic Game Store on your computer, go ahead and get the latest free game, which is Enter the Gungeon. Because that's their free game for the moment. So you're able to pick it up. That's all I got.
I don't got anything else either, other than the amiibo for Link's Awakening is out and it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, there's that. There's the Simon Belmont. There's an Ivysaur, which I want the Ivysaur.
Squirtle.
Squirtle. Yeah.
There's a few that they announced, but that Link one, it's gonna be mine.
The Link's already sold out on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on email me when it comes available now. So I gotta somehow figure out how to get it from like GameStop or something.
It might be sold out there too, unless you get a chance. So I just say don't sit on it if you plan on it.
Yeah, they were talking about it the other day, and then today I saw an article up when I got off of work that said they're now like officially for sale.
Yeah.
Let's find out if GameStop has it.
Do you know that the Gears of War Ultimate Edition drone is more expensive than the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition?
The what's more than the drone?
The Gears of War Ultimate Edition with the drone is $269.99.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the Cyberpunk is $249.99. So It's actually, the drone is actually more expensive, and I found out it's not going to be a little bitty drone, because I thought it was going to be like, remember when Splinter Cell released the remote control airplane as a collector's edition?
No. Wait, yes, I do. It was the bomber one, right?
Yeah, the bomber.
Yeah.
The B-51 bomber. So I picked that up when it was like $20 at a GameStop for PS3. And so the plane sits on top of my case that has my Witcher statue in it because I could never get it to fly.
Okay.
Could that plane fly? So I was a little worried about wanting to get the drone because I wasn't sure if this is thing, but it's gonna fly and it's able to take pictures directly to your phone.
Okay.
So
pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping that it's not very cheaply made. That's what scares me.
I mean, like when I got the Call of Duty drone, it was cheaply made.
Was it?
Yeah, the main hull of it was plastic, but the where the blades go, styrofoam.
Yeah, because the Gears of War 5, if you look for a picture of it online, it looks pretty big because it's Jack. It's a drone made up of Jack.
I could side note, I could order the Link's Awakening amiibo from GameStop for it comes up $25.73, or I could drive to GameStop and pre-order it there possibly. That means I got to drive into town. Hey, I don't know. Pick up at store unavailable.
Yeah, that means you can only order it directly through them. Yeah, because I keep looking at that drone, and obviously, I'm always going to do the collector's editions for Gears, and the fact that this is Jack is cool because Jack has been an integral part of the Gears story for so long.
Yeah.
So even if I don't fly this thing, he's got a nice little stand I could keep him on. But I hope he flies because I'd like to actually play around with him and learn to really fly him well. Because I have a backyard that's big enough for this type of stuff, and it'd just be cool. But I don't know.
Do you have? Did any of your thoughts change on the consoles on the conferences?
On conferences, yeah, because I went back and I rewatched the Bethesda one. And I don't know if it was because I was too busy writing that it didn't occur to me. Because as I was watching it, but watching it back, I was like, you know what, Bethesda, you're pretty boring.
Okay.
You're not as. I was not as like, and it's not because I had already heard the news, but I was not like, I'm like, did I rate you a little too high? Like, cause they were. It was pretty dull to rewatch that again. And Microsoft, I've watched it a couple times, and I agree wholeheartedly when we did the videos for. Not one conference had that power moment, like that big boom. You know what I mean?
For me, the closest thing was Breath of the Wild sequel. That's the closest thing for me.
But to me, I took that as a tease, like the Metroid. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
thinking
more like
all they just said was, "Hey, it's in development,"
yeah,
which is
it's more
exactly
than
what they did
Metroid,
with Metroid.
but that's the closest thing for me. Um, for the oh my goodness, oh wow, like blow your mind thing. That's the closest. But
Yeah,
I still feel that all of them, none of them really had it. My opinion
yeah,
has, I guess the only thing is I could say something about it like is more solidified is that as solid as Microsoft and Nintendo were, the others pale in comparison to them. And
I agree.
I think I gave Square Enix a C minus, and I think I gave both Bethesda and Ubisoft B minuses.
B pluses, I think.
No. I gave them B minuses. I gave B pluses to Nintendo and Microsoft. Uh, if I didn't give Ubisoft a C plus, I think that'd be a C plus. Bethesda would probably be a C plus now too. But out of the two top ones, both being B pluses, I'd still favor Nintendo over Microsoft.
So yeah, I think they're pretty much on par with one another because neither
They're
one had that.
uh, exactly. They're both so solid. And what's a B plus? Like you're a solid student, right? That's a
Yeah,
solid student. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they're. I think I preferred a little bit more of Nintendo,
I
but
think Nintendo without all the Square Enix games would have been much better.
ha, yeah, Square Enix bought up a lot of share. So yeah. But otherwise, though, I think other than making Bethesda and Ubisoft C pluses and making sure they're out of the Bs. Just kind of like you said with Bethesda about being a little boring. Because looking back on my listing of it of Bethesda, like I said, I reserve the right to think about it until today, and so that's what I've done.
Yeah,
And so as much as I like the Bethesda one and I like what they did, I think that they could have had more, but they still did well with what they did with Wolfenstein and with Doom Eternal and
yeah.
admitting their mistakes with Fallout 76 and things like that.
Yeah,
But
and looking back at it, I still think they were trying to take credit for for saying that they were always going to put NPC in, not the fact that they were going to always, you know.
they never said that they're going to always put NPCs in. You're understanding what he said in a different way.
I'm not the only one who thought this.
He
I'm not the only
said
one who took this away
always
from it.
planned on
Because even
continuing.
guys off of IGN said, it's kind of funny when they said they always had this intention when the community was already lambasting them for it.
That's kind of one of those things where I think he was pretty clear with what he said, which was we've always had intentions of making
It's okay.
this
It's okay.
work.
I'm not beating the guy up for it. I'm not saying,
No, I'm just saying what he said
you
is that
don't. He doesn't need to be defended. Is my point.
yeah,
No, it's like it's cool. I'm like I'm not. I'm like I said. I'm not the only one who thought this. I'm not going to crucify the guy for it. But it's like even quote unquote journalists have caught up on it, and maybe you're right. Maybe you're right in saying that oh, it's been taken out of context because a lot of stuff gets taken out of context when it comes to games. But I'm just not. I'm not writing it off in stone. Like say no, this is defining. This is definitely what he said. I'm just saying how it was perceived, not just by me. Is that fair?
Sure.
I'm not saying he has to do, he doesn't have to backtrack himself or anything. I'm not expecting that. So I think overall they did a good job in representing everything that they had for Fallout 76. So, and I hope that the game finally picks up and gets a lot more players. So, that's pretty much it on that.
Yeah, I don't got anything else.
There was a trailer that came out that I thought you were gonna throw my way, and I forgot the name of it.
I haven't watched it. It's Frozen 2.
No, it wasn't that. It was something else. That one was a gimme, and I didn't even watch it.
And then there was a final Toy Story trailer, or was a TV spot, but I didn't watch either of them because this week's been busy.
I didn't catch that either because it was something more a serious toned film. But yeah, I guess we could put this one to bed.
All right. Well, you guys can join me on PlayStation 4, not a Pro though, for Swish Drop, and Xbox One X Swish 187. Go to our Facebook page and find my friend code on there. Join me for some Smash Brothers and some Mario Kart. I will be taking a bit of hiatus, a summer break, so to speak. So we'll be getting back at you with more info on that later.
Yeah. All right, guys. As always, catch us in everything that Sean mentioned. I'm going to see what I can do for next week on, because everybody gets burned out after a while and they need their time away. So I'm going to see what I can do. Maybe I'll focus more on the video side of things, but you'll catch us somewhere. You'll definitely hear from us. Catch me on Xbox and PS4, Ash Darkthorn, space on one, underscore on the other, respectively.
Yeah,
and
check
as
the streaming, like streaming stuff.
Yeah, I plan on. I want us to get more into it because Susan goes like, if I'm gonna make streaming a thing, I need to start doing it with a purpose.
Yes.
So I need to get that rolling, and then hopefully with that get us our website. But keep with us, keep listening to us, join us in all our things. Let us know what you like, you don't like. You can still join us here on Spreaker, because while Sean's away, I'm still gonna try to do this. I don't know how it's going to be talking to myself, but we'll figure it out. As always, until next time, catch you on Dark Side.
aka Geeks.